Overseer's log, south of Vault 76. I knew this wasn't going to be the Appalachia I remembered, but... mutated animals, haywire bots, and... no people so far. We have to be ready to rebuild in... what I can confirm is... hostile territory. Fortunately, Vault Tech was prepared. You see this? The cooking station, the stash box, the workbenches, all built with the camp. You need a home base out there. The construction and assembly mobile platform is designed to give you one. Just add resources, planning, and a little elbow grease. When you move your camp, everything you've built is stored, ready to be placed back down in the new area. Use this to establish a foothold whenever you're in unfamiliar territory. I've left my camp behind so you can use it. I know I'm breaking my own advice by not taking it with me. But after seeing Appalachia for myself, I need to make sure every resident of 76 has a safe haven they can start from. I'll make do without it. If it's still standing, the town of Flatwoods is further down this road. Find me there. This is the Overseer, signing off.
Well, the Overseer, she's given me my first destination. Somewhere for me to try and head and see if there's other survivors. First of all, I'm going to need some drink if I'm going to survive too much longer out here. Luckily, I have some purified water. That should keep me going for a little bit. Okay, let's try and head into town. See what we can find in Flatwoods. And as I'm on my way there, I want to try and pick up everything that I can. These things have got to be useful. I've got to learn to start to fend for myself and not just rely on the Overseer. If I can start building things. Some supplies. I've already started with a new weapon. And who's this? Danger. What the hell? Okay. So the robots are also going a bit haywire. Mr. Farmhand? I thought Mr. Farmhands were exclusively friendly. Call Mr. Handies because they're handy to help. I can hear something. There's something walking. There's some dogs. I can see some dogs over there. And, yeah, they don't look too friendly. Yeah, okay. I've got just to assume that every wild animal so far is just out to kill me. Okay, there was another one. Where is it? I could hear it still, but I can't see it. Okay, these have got some meat on them. I'm going to take the meat. I can cook the meat up at the very least. It's not the ideal to be eating dog meat, but I don't know what other options I'm going to have out here. Oh, that's a squirrel. That's not a dog. Right. Where was it? Where is the other dog? I don't want to be... There it is. I don't want to be flanked by it. I'm going to have to take it out. Okay, I'm going to take the meat. And I'm going to head into town. This is all experience, all good experience. What's happened to this place? Seems relatively untouched by the bombs. But absolutely everything I've come across so far is out to kill me. Welcome to Flatwoods, home of the Green Monster. Yeah, well, I hope not. I could really do without a green monster about now. Okay, let's take this slow, and let's find out what's happened to everybody in this place. Okay, I've made it to the lodge. I know very little about this place. I was very, very young when I was last out here. I just know of it and know nothing about it. Look at the size of that thing. I don't really know if I want to take its meat. Barbell? I'm unsure exactly what is going to be useful to me. And pack of cigarettes, gold plate lighter. Let's play that. What's this?
Arm day. 3 sets of 12 reps. Let's see. Dumbbell bicep curls, tricep extensions, and back extensions, yeah. Little P, but proper equipment. No bother. Chin up. Only 8 more luxury coffins to make quota in Backwoods. I mean, Flatwoods. Be difficult, given the financial situation around here. Just need to remind them of our friends the Chinese. I'll be back on the plane to Ipswich within a fortnight. Gather it'll be the bench press today. Yeah, again.
Right, I don't have any bobby pins or lock picks or anything to get in there. If I just had myself a little bit of metal, I'm sure I'd be able to get in there. Now, I'm severely over encumbered. I'm carrying far too much stuff at the moment, but I don't know what I'm going to need, and for the time being, I will settle with being a little bit over encumbered and just take everything. Some rad away. That could be handy. I can hear lots of fighting in the background. I don't know if I really want to get involved in any of that at the moment. Everything in this world is strange. I mean, 2-headed cows. And these stories these people have to tell. Life after the war was shocking.
Is this thing on? Great. Hello, survivors of this garbage dump. I'm Sophie, and this is my stupid survivor story. This dumb shit go. Oh yeah. Before the bombs, I was a librarian, and now I can read everything all the time. Whee! Look at me! I'm lucky. Wait, no. Maybe I was one of those farmers who prepared for the end times. Some sort of religious thing. Yeah, that's right. No, I got it. I was a sweet little kid and lived off some cat food containers in a super duper mart for months near my parents' rotting carcasses. Nobody came. Nobody. I learned how to deal. You should too. The responders are a joke. Nobody helps anybody anymore. Get a grip. If you're not a total idiot, you'll get out of this dump before the responders get you killed. Leave the sick behind. We're better off. Trust me. Whiny babies can stay here and play make-believe, but anyone with half a brain will go up to the mountains and drop the dead weight. Delbert already tried to stop me. Sorry to say nobody will be around to teach you how to eat shit now, Flatwoods. Bye, suckers. Love always, Sophie.
She was bitter. And that's quite apparent. To be perfectly honest, I can't blame her. This was probably the best that people could have expected. And this isn't great. I could say, you know, always look on the bright side. You know, at least they had this. At least they had something. But this isn't living. Not for people who remember what it was like before the war. This is barely surviving. All of these people just have sad tales. That's all they've got in their lives. I'm glad I wasn't around for this. I'm glad I had the comfort of a vault. But this is now just a shock. Right, if the Overseer was heading this direction... Trading post. Maybe she was heading here. If I was coming this way, this is exactly where I would head first of all. Some more boiled water, that's got to help. That's got to help me. Every single thing will help. Okay, what do we have here? Medical. Right, this is some sort of emergency station that was set up. Mentats. Okay, some more gear. Some bandages. Patient chart. Buzz. Patient name, Buzz Yates. Complaint. Patient admitted at 9 PM complaining of upset stomach. Drank several containers of dirty water. Claims he likes the earthy taste. This isn't going to end well for him. Patient experiencing extreme bowel discomfort, weakness, confusion, barely alive, treatment. Patient died before receiving treatment. Right, I'm now in a world where drinking the wrong kind of water can be fatal.
We call it the Great War now. It's not been long and things have been rough. Welcome to Survivor Stories. I'm Dasa Ben Ami, a responder. I've been working with the responders for a couple of years now.
Responders?
I'm from Charleston originally, so it was easy to join up. What wasn't easy was the work. Rebuilding Appalachia from the rubble while survivors flock to us regularly from all over. So many have come and gone. Their stories untold, their names lost to time. I thought we should preserve this history somehow. I've decided to ask people to record their thoughts, their stories, anything they want to preserve forever. I'll call this series the Survivor Stories. I'll start with me. I was an anthropology PhD student at Tech University. Final year. I was printing my thesis when I heard the sirens. I thought for sure my father, a Tech employee, could take us all with him, but only 2 reservations came through. I refused to go. With my little brother, he went into the vault. They could not persuade me, though they tried. In the end, I pushed them inside it, and that was it. After that, I went back home to Charleston and, well, survived. Eventually, the responders formed, and I signed up right away. It was so hard. The flood was devastating. Relocating to Morgantown Airport and now Flatwoods has been... I remain optimistic. Been with them now for, I guess 2 years. We have big plans.
2 years?
We can do so much to help. Maybe, just maybe, we can rebuild enough to be okay. And in the meantime, I will continue to record stories of survivors when I can. We are your history. This is Dasa Ben Ami, signing off for now.
Okay, so this is the woman who works for or with the responders, and it's her who's been getting people to leave these messages so that people like me can come along and listen to them in their future. Okay, see what we've got here.
Hi. Dasa asked me if I would talk about, how I got here. She asked everybody, so I said okay. My name's Colonel, and I'm 13 years old.
13?
I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything. The bombs and messed up people and the cows with 2 heads and all of it. I was bad. Just bad. I cheated on my spelling test. I kicked
Oh,
Chip
come on,
Wilkins in
kids.
the
You
shins
can't be
until he cried.
blaming
I
yourself
pushed
for all
Rosie
of
McClure down the
this.
stairs. I cut holes in the bottom of all the gym shorts and put glue in the mashed potatoes in the cafeteria. I told Harold Newell to eat 10 dead flies a day in order to grow muscles, and I put Nuka-Cola in the rat cage water bottles at the pet store. And, I just wanted to say I'm sorry about everything. Because my dad said if I wasn't this way, the bad things wouldn't happen.
That's a horrible thing to
I
say.
haven't seen Daddy since the bombs, and I guess he left because of that, too. It's okay. I'm trying to be good now, though. I'm not old enough to be a volunteer, but Dawson said I can help collect food and water, so I'm getting better, I promise. And, Daddy, if you're listening, I promise I won't be bad anymore, so you can come back now. Okay? Okay. Bye.
Poor kid. God, this is hard. When leaving the vault, I never thought of the people out here and what I'd come across. All I wanted to do was find out what was out there. All I wanted to do was leave. Now I realised how lucky I was to actually stay in the vault. Why did we leave? Why are we here now? Water safety report. Tester, volunteer candidate Colonel. Oh, the kid I just heard about. Results, germ profile high. Recognised bacterial groups. Mutated bacterial. Conclusion, water is unsafe for drinking unless boiled thoroughly.
Overseer's log, town of Flatwoods. My God. There's no one here. The old tavern, the church, people were using them for shelter, but they're gone. Mutations we expected. But there's something else. A disease. I was attacked by... Well, it used to be a person. But it had these green, glowing lesions, and its voice...
They're the ones who attacked me earlier.
We are one. One what? Whatever happened here is beyond anything we expected. And we expected a lot. Before they were wiped out, the survivors called themselves the Responders. Looks like they were made of firefighters, police, emergency medical staff. They even have an automated system to teach people about treating water, food,
Really?
survival. I'm doing their tests, and you should too. I know it's even worse than we imagined, but someone's got to know where the missile silos are and how to secure them. The Responders are the best lead we have. This is the Overseer, signing off.
Okay, so she's calling these people Responders. And she's come across those other people who were shooting at me as well. Well, not people, they were... something else. She says I should do the test that she was doing. Maybe it will help me understand a little bit more and understand what I've got to expect here. I've got a Tinker's workbench here. And, this is a weapons bench. And I can bolt things together. Okay, now the Overseer. She said she was running some form of tests. Maybe that's what I should be doing. I should be running tests. It'll probably help me understand the area a little bit more and exactly what I'm doing. Some 10mm rounds. What do we have here? Scrap items. I had a weapon that I wanted to scrap that I wasn't using. I had the pipe wrench. I'm going to scrap that. And this pipe pistol. I've already got 2 pipe pistols. I don't need that one. And I've learned how to do a standard stock. That could be handy, hopefully in the future, if I ever plan on upgrading these weapons. Volunteers needed. Okay, I take it this is where I volunteer. Right, what do we have in here? I'm just going to check this area out before I register on there and volunteer. There's just dead bodies of these responders everywhere. What happened to them? A pipe revolver. That looks a far more powerful weapon.
Welcome back, dear listeners. It's time once again to put aside all you think you know, all you believe to be true. Time to open your mind to the strange, bizarre, and sometimes terrifying world that exists in the shadows and fringes of our own, where myth, legend, and rumor are made real. Yes, it's time for more thrilling tales from the West Virginia hills. Tonight's episode, Who Goes There? The Strange Encounter in Flatwoods, is brought to you by Sugar Bombs, the breakfast cereal with explosive great taste and 100% of the recommended daily allowance of sugar. Get your morning started right with Sugar Bombs. Our tale begins on a fateful night when a young pioneer scout, Fred Fisher, finds himself in quite the predicament, having taken a spill and fallen into a dark place.
Where am I? Jack? Viv? Mr. Bailey? Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Who's there? I can't see you.
Me. My name's Sally. What's yours?
Fred.
Are you okay, Fred?
I think so. My head's a little woozy. Must have hit it when I fell.
Oh, no. Did you get lost, too?
Well, sort of. What I mean is that I was camping with my scout troop by the lake near Flatwoods. There were these lights kind of dancing in the sky.
Neat.
I guess. Anyway, we heard some weird noises and the guy's double dog dared me to go look. So I did.
All by yourself? You're really brave.
Shucks. Thanks. I followed the noises to an entrance of an old mine. It smelled awful there, like rotten eggs, but worse. Suddenly, there was this bright light shining down on me. I was super scared and ran to the mine to hide, but everything felt strange. Like my feet weren't even touching the ground. Everything went black, and I woke up here in the dark.
That all happened to me, too. We'll just do it like Dad says. When you strayed or lost your foot, do what's best and stay put. They said they'd bring him soon.
There are other people here?
A very good question indeed. Tune in next time to find out the answer in the chilling conclusion of Who Goes There? The Strange Encounter in Flatwoods.
Well, I'm glad that is just a story, because I don't want to come across too many things like that. What I've experienced so far is freaky enough. What do we have paired? Then let's have a play of this.
Okay. Hi. What do you want me to say exactly?
Yeah, so just talk about how you got here and maybe a little bit about your life. This is a historic document. Go ahead, Tabitha.
Okay. So, well, thanks. Okay. I've been sober for 9 days. I got here 9 days ago. My name is Tabitha. And this is my story. I just found out about everything.
The war, the bombs.
Found out about everything.
I just realized this was really happening. For years, I thought the chems were playing tricks with my mind, hurting my brain. Thought it was the worst trip ever. Every time I'd come out of my haze long enough to look for food, I'd find more chems and, well, they kept going. And I kept seeing madness. Look, I would have been wandering around fighting giant rats and eating garbage if not for the responders. They're good folks. That doc in the church, got me some meds that are helping out a lot. And they have group therapy meetings, and it's good. It's good. I think it's helping. But listen, you should avoid the mountains. They'll just get you mixed up. Get you doing things you don't want to do. Hurting people mostly. And there are so many chems up there. I spent too long there and I hurt people. I couldn't think right. I couldn't. Oh, it's okay, Tabitha. Remember what we said in the group? Take your Addictol and rest, and things will be okay soon. It's okay. We're here for you. Yeah, I'm taking it. When I feel better, I'm going out west now. Getting out of this place. Getting away from the chems, all of this. I feel better every day, but, years of chems, years of rads, years of sleeping in the mud. It adds up. Yeah. I'm gonna get back to sleep now, okay? Okay. Thanks for sharing your story, Tabitha. Get some sleep. You'll be okay. You're safe now.
Wow, imagine just waking up and finding out all this has just happened. Oh, dear God. What these people have gone through.
DASA has asked us all to document our stories for posterity, It seems like a fine idea. So, hi, I am Kesha McDermott. When the bombs fell, I was in Watoga.
Pleased to meet you,
coordinating
Kesha.
a statewide science fair for that year's high school kids.
And I'm sorry for what happened to
The
you.
theme was the future of energy. After the bombs, everything was pretty chaotic. Scavenging for food and fighting off rabid survivors. Oh, it was just a bad time all around. I found a couple of surviving kids from the high school whose parents didn't make it. And we holed up in a house in town for a while. After a bit, I was able to solder the circuitry in an old radio, and we tuned in to a broadcast from the responders. Oh, we were overjoyed. The trip from Watoga to Flatwoods, it was rough, mind you. The kids and I ran into a group of assholes in the mountains who stole our food and water. I can't tell you how happy I was to find the responders in Flatwoods. Tents for everyone, open kitchens, medical supplies, protection. We were safe. They had a problem, though. Their water sources were contaminated heavily. People were boiling water, but not long enough to make it safe. So, I stepped up and I said,
Responder DASA gave me some supplies in exchange for my survivor story.
Something see me.
Hi,
What the hell is
my
that?
name is Scott Shepherd.
What the hell are these?
Nothing much has changed.
These are
I don't get paid.
these are fast. I mean,
Government is basically the same now as
very
it was
bloomin'
years
fast.
ago. Wrecked, disorganized, cannot be trusted. Everyone knows this. You want to know why the war actually happened? Aliens. You think I'm joking?
Aliens?
Right before everything went to hell, I saw him. I was grilling hamburgers out in the yard with my dog, and I heard rustling.
That sun is so bright, I'm having difficulty seeing at the moment where I'm supposed to be going.
Next thing I know, I'm lightheaded, and I felt myself falling to the ground. And I didn't even have a lot to drink. I woke up, and I saw some little thing run into the bushes with my dog following it. And I knew something was wrong. I found my dog later with a clump of green skin in his mouth.
Green skin?
Like moss or something. The bombs fell almost 10 days later. 9 days, 19 hours to be exact. That's 235 hours precisely. You know what that is, right?
Coincidence.
That's right. The atomic number of the fissile-isotope of uranium. They had a plan from the very beginning. Why would they come after me first? Scott Shepherd, the nurse. Well, good question. I'm glad you asked. They have our blood. They knew which ones of us would survive. This is one big experiment to them. This whole thing was staged. Our lives, our thoughts, everything was designed for us, just like this conversation. Every word I'm saying. Planned. Time to wake up, Appalachia. Find the ones holding the strings and cut the cords.
Okay, what do we have in here? There's another body in there. Okay, let's go and have a look to see what we got in here. I'm slowly piecing together what happened in this place. Unfortunately, none of it was good. I'm sorry. Who are you, Reverend Dilbert Winters?
Reverend Delbert Winters here, born and raised in this very town. Lent my own church to the responders for their outpost here, and you're welcome. The responders are on a true mission, you see, helping folks through thick and thin, till the heavens open up again and take us all up anyways. When this all happened, I figured like most it was time. This was the end, but it wasn't, was it? We're still here. At first, I thought it was a mistake, that we was missed, forgotten. Maybe we did some wrongs. Didn't give enough to charity, maybe. Didn't praise his name, even in the worst of times. Maybe thought some things that ought not to been thought. So I asked him. I asked how? Why? I fought your wars on Earth. I'm ready to fight them up there by your side. Then, in my despair, I saw some survivors eating raw rat carcass behind a dumpster. You ought to cook that first, I warned them. Seemed obvious. We tried but got sick, they said, covered in their own filth. I realized right then and there that I was being tasked. From then on, I built kitchens, cooked good food, fed anyone who walked up with an empty belly. And I was thankful for my task in life. Thankful. Next time hell or high water land in my stoop, I'll be swept clear away with it. But until then, let's share a home-cooked meal together, all right?
I'll share a home-cooked meal with you, Reverend Delbert Winters. Okay, let's see what your diary said. See if I can learn anything new. January the 15th. On faith. I needed to write down my thoughts because I was losing faith. I'm ashamed to admit it. I witnessed the wrath within my own eyes. The brightest of lights filled the sky, and I thought he had come for me and those of the faith. But we remain. Why? Either he did not come, Or we were not good enough. I pray every moment I can. Nothing. I hear nothing. I used to hear something, I think. Did I? It's hard to remember. So long ago. Responders. This past month I've struggled. I cooked a lot, though. You know, it helps keep me calm to cook. Ingredients are so simple. Mix this and that and you've got yourself a food. Life, not so much. And the beyond. I don't know. I thought I did. The responders set up camp in town. They're a bunch of medical and firefighter types. And they plan to fix up survivors. I'm volunteering. This is something I know I can do. Weird cows are born more often than not, and I don't know what to say. Plants are weird too. Plants emerge and changing colours. I don't know what. Maybe this is the resurrection of our world like after the flood. If so, we survivors had no ark, no protection. I stayed up all night cooking stew and corn pone for everyone here. There's a lot of us now. A lot of us aren't doing so good. Some have lost faith in these responders and ran into the mountains to join gangs. I pray for them. I pray for us all. God bless you, Reverend Gilbert Winters. I was told to head this way and turn in my test results for this water. I've taken samples from 2 different locations from the river and a well up there, and we're now going to test them to see what they're like, if they're drinkable. I know they're not drinkable. What's that?
Automated warning to all responders. The Mr. Farmhands are out of control. Evacuate civilians and take down those supervisors. Once they're dealt with, you'll have to reboot the server. Again.